Hey guys, how are you? Happy New Year. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. I just wanted to come on and really talk to you guys to the point of mindset and some things that I hope everyone has left in 2022. What I realized about 2022 was that it really was a year of reflection. At least it was for me. It was a year of reflection and it was a year of really discovering some things. And so I'm extremely excited to share with you my list of things that I left in 2022. If you do not know who I am, my name is Joy Maxwell. I am a mom of five, a wife, a sister, an educator. I'm a girl that truly lives by faith. I'm a girl that realizes I'm not self-made, I'm God-made. You guys, can you see my shirt? I'm God made. And I really just wanted to come on and start sharing with you guys. I'm a certified John Maxwell leadership coach. So I really go into organizations and work with people around mindset, around what leadership looks like, around how we need to stop having limited beliefs and how we really can go past our current to achieve more in life. And so I want to start coming on this wonderful YouTube world a little bit more often, just to kind of share with you guys some things that I've been thinking about, some things that have really been on my mind, and I just feel led to share. So I'm here. So today's topic is 5 things that I've decided to leave in 2022. Okay. I did not cross over with these things into 2023, and I hope that you guys didn't either. The first thing that I super decided to leave in 22 is limited beliefs. Limited beliefs are thoughts that you think is the absolute truth, and it stops you or cripples you from doing what you're supposed to be doing, and they're false. So those thoughts that say, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm too old, no one will like this, no one will accept me, those types of things, okay? And how we break limited beliefs is we first identify the false belief. We identify the thing that is absolutely not true. You are more than enough. People will like you, appreciate you, support you. You're never too old for anything. I've seen 80-year-olds bungee jumping and everything else, okay? And so we identify the thing that is a false belief. We then take that very thought and we give ourselves the truth that I am more than enough, that I am beautiful, I am smart, I am intelligent, I am capable. And you get excited about that. You get excited about celebrating those truths. If you are a person who needs to visualize it, then you write it down. You put it on your mirror. You confess it every day. You do the work, okay? And now a lot of people might say, well, maybe not a lot of people. Some people might say, oh, that doesn't work. If you start with doubt in your mind, then it's definitely not going to work for you, okay? If you are a person that believes anything is possible, you believe in the power of positive talk, growth, love, positive environments, then it's going to work for you, okay? It is what it is. You realize, or you come to the realization that that is false. That's not a true belief. It's not something that I have to accept, because sometimes limited beliefs are taught to us, like by our family, by the people that we were raised with. Like I was raised with a grandmother that did not believe in us going down south. If she knew we were driving down South Carolina back to, where she was from, she would warn my mom, like, oh, be careful with the girls in the car going down south. Be careful about this one. Tell them don't look a person, some of the things that she remembered from her childhood in the South, she began to put on us, like, don't do this, don't do that, don't say that, don't go there. When it came time for us to go away to college, she was very, very, well, who's going to watch them? Who do they know up there? That's too far from home. Like, she really was fearful. And it was just her upbringing, to the point that is a story in our family that one of my aunts was chosen to like travel with this singing group when she was like a teenager. And my grandmother was so fearful for her. She didn't want her away from home. She didn't want her to get in trouble. She didn't know if she could trust the people she was going to be going with. And so she told her that she could not go. Like, no. And this was around the time, like, you know, the Tina Turners and the Diana Rosses and these teen groups were out and singing the Supremes and the Shy Lights or whatever these people's name are called. Listen, I'm only 40. I don't know all the groups from back then, but this was around that time. So it was an era where young groups were being discovered and people were traveling and leaving home. And some of them even had like bus moms and tour moms who went with them. But because of my grandmother's own fears, because of her own doubt, she did not allow my auntie to go. Sometimes it's passed down through generations. I get people who don't fly because you're fearful. I have a girlfriend right now. Well, she's like 70, but she's my friend. And she always, if I'm traveling, she's like, oh, I don't know how you do it. I'm so scared of flying. I'm so scared of the idea. That's her limiting belief. I can't allow her to project that on me because that's not what I have come in agreement with about my life and my destiny. So limited beliefs, we dismantle them, we come against them, we speak against them, and then we only confess the opposite of the lie, okay? Which brings me to my second point. I left doubt in 2022. Did any of you guys leave doubt in 2022? I left doubt in 2022 because it really started to fester and turn into other things. Now, doubt's definition, and I'm reading from my handy dandy notebook. Doubt's definition is a feeling of uncertainty. It's really to call in the questioning of the truth. Well, how do you know that's going to work? How do you know they're saying what they're supposed to say? How do you know they're going to do what they tell you they're going to do? Oh, you're sending somebody money. How do you know they're going to give you blah, blah, blah? It's going against what you kind of already know is the truth. And it's just questioning it. Okay. So people doubt themselves and they doubt their ability to accomplish goals, to accomplish visions, to accomplish things. And so the way you break doubt is, number one, you don't compare yourself to anybody else's journey, anybody else's life, anybody else's anything. Your Genesis is different from anyone else's revelation, whether it be a sibling, a coworker, a child, your parent. Your Genesis and your revelation is totally different, okay? Even your Exodus is different. So you never want to compare yourself to anyone else's journey. It's just not worth it. So that's one way you can break it. You want to be mindful of your thinking when it comes to doubt. It's a quote that says, whether you believe you can or you can't, that's like pretty much that's your lot. That's what it is. So if you're already doubting yourself, like, ooh, walking 2 miles, I can't do that. I cannot walk 2 miles. It's just not going to work. Then you've already set yourself up for failure. You've already set yourself up to believe that you're not going to be able to accomplish that goal. And so you want to use visuals. You want to use repetition. You want to use confessions to really break yourself away from this mindset of doubting things that are possible. And then you want to begin to surround yourself with a community that supports your dreams, your endeavors, your goals. And you want to do that because the people that I currently have in my life, my purpose partners, my community, they are people who, once I share something with them, once I tell them something, they've already started this. They've already started cheering me on. I stopped a long time ago sharing goals, desires, dreams, aspirations with people who, now say that again. Now, how you going to do that? You got money to do that? You know somebody that can help you do that? Anybody who I've shared a dream, goal, desire with, and they've started to dissect it and kind of show me or tell me or try to reveal to me that it's not possible or capable, they cannot be people who are close to me. Because the people who are close to me are the people that if I fall back, you ever do one of those trust falls where you have to stand in front of the person and then the person has to catch you if you fall back? I only share my dreams, goals, visions, aspirations, desires with people who can catch me. I don't share it with anybody who's already speaking against me, doubting me, telling other people, girl, you know, Joy said she about to have a $2.5 million home. Now, where is she? Nope, not you. Try somebody else. So I don't share those things with everybody. I only share it with people who I know are going to cheer me on, help me out. And let me just say this part. This is like a little flag on the play. Pause for 1 minute. Get you some friends who say, sis, I saw this resource. I heard this tip. I learned about this. I'm going to put you on. Be mindful of gatekeepers. I should have added that to my list. But in 2022, get rid of gatekeepers. Now, I'm not saying, because I am a person who not only do I coach and create a platform for people to be cultivated and help them grow and all of that information, I'm not saying let that one friend that's always asking you about, stuff that you've invested in and they're never willing to invest in their own selves. I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying share your information and resources with people who you feel like you've cast your pearls before swine, meaning they don't appreciate it. They're not going to listen to you anyway. They don't value what you have to offer and they just kind of tolerate you. I'm not saying share with them, but I'm saying, and we actually did this before, me, my husband, and a couple of our friends, we had went to this conference a few years back. And at this conference, there were 4, I'll call them gurus for right now. Okay. It was 4 gurus and they came together to do this conference, and all 4 of them had a package that they wanted to offer. Now, we as friends, as purpose partners, realized, well, there's no need for me, my husband, you, and your husband to buy each package, but because it just wasn't adding up. However, we did want to support the people who were in the room. We wanted to support the people who put on this conference. We valued their information. We valued the connection we were building. And so what we decided to do, each of us purchased a coaching package or information. And then when we came together to work on projects, we shared knowledge and information. So not only was it equally beneficial, but we did not gatekeep the information so that we could seem like the ones who were growing and prospering and developing, and the other, people weren't. Like, that's not what we're doing in this season. We're not gatekeeping information. We are cultivating each other. We are building each other up. We are pouring into each other. So people who provide doubt in your life are usually people who try to gatekeep information and they don't want to see you grow. So surround yourself with a community of people who support you and cheer you on. All right. So clap for me, because I'm clapping for you. Number 3, one of the major things I left in 2022, this probably could have been number 1 too, but anyway, I left fear. In 2022. Somewhere around like the 23rd of December, I was like sitting, I was pondering, I was working, I think I was journaling, and it came to me, I'm not afraid anymore. Now, if you've seen the movie Home Alone, I love that movie, you probably remember that scene where Kevin had been in the house by himself a couple of days. Home Alone was like a crazy movie because nowadays that wouldn't have went down like that. But anyway, let me stay focused. Kevin was home by himself. He had been fearful of different sounds. He was hearing noises. He was hearing the TV, the dog, whatever was going on. He was fearful. And so he mustered this strength and this ability. And he came outside and he was looking for the bad guys and he yelled out, "I'm not you here." And he declared that he was no longer operating in fear. And so around Christmas time, I posted that on my Facebook page, I'm not afraid anymore. And although it was associated with that movie, or people associated with that movie, in my mind of all minds, heart of all hearts, I'm no longer afraid. Now, fear, an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, literally to cause pain or threat, right? And so I remember some of the projects I had been working on, some of the things that I, was asked to do. My fear crippled me to the point that I was like, not yet. I can't do that right now. I'm gonna come back to it. I'm not ready yet. That's not for me right now. And at the source of it, I was fearful. I was nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot do this. And it caused me to be crippled, right? And so you break fear by identifying exactly what it is. And I was always told that fear is false evidence appearing real, FEAR. And so you identify the falsehood of fear. You identify the thing that's causing you to feel like this is not going to work out. I won't be successful. This person, this, that person, that. It also, for me, it goes back to almost like that comparison piece where you're really fearful because you feel like, well, that happened for them, but who's to say it could happen for me? So we dismantle fear. We come against fear. We speak against fear. We identify the root, the source of it, and then we combat it, okay? We practice mindfulness, right? I know for me, if I feel something like anxiety, a little depression, whatever that is, that thing that makes me feel like, brace yourself, something's about to happen. I take that thought, I pray against it, I move around, I get out the house, I go take a walk, I do what I need to do. I'm mindful of fear. I'm mindful of the thoughts, the reactions, the ideas, the feeling that fear brings me. And I'm mindful of it and I work through that. Deep breathing. I remember having a dream one time, and in a dream, I could feel myself becoming fearful to the point where I was breathing so deep in the dream that when I woke up, my heart was racing. I was still breathing heavy because it was like real fear. So do your breathing techniques, whatever you have to do to dismantle the fear, to work against it. That's what you do. Number 4, this one, poor stewardship. Okay. Stewardship is a person who manages the property or the affairs of another person or another entity. Okay. And so if you've been given stewardship over a business, stewardship over family, stewardship over gifts, callings, there's a story in the Bible that talks about being a good steward and how these people were given talents, and one of them hid the talent out of fear or whatever the reason was. They hid the talent. The other person grew theirs. They grew it, they multiplied it, they flipped it, reversed it, all that, right? And when the person came back to check on them with their talent, they had to reveal yeah, you did give me this talent, you did give me this gift, and you did give me this ability. I didn't do anything with it. And so we want to be good stewards over our resources, our gifts, our callings, our finances, our time. At some point, I have to take social media off my cell phone, unplug from it, because it will rob you of your time if you're not careful, if you're not a good steward of your time. So we want to be a good steward over our time as well. Okay. You want to be able to pray and ask God to reveal all your gifts to you, like the area that you've been gifted in, if you feel like you're kind of foggy about it. And then you want to ask God to reveal how you can use each gift, how you can operate it, how you can serve in that area. And you want to make sure that you are not being hard on yourself in the process, but you still want to make sure that you're operating in your gifts so that you're a good steward. Okay. The last thing that I left in 2022, and this one I really want to talk to you guys about because I'm noticing more and more people kind of not doing this or doing this, is self-neglect. Okay. So self-neglect is a refusal or the inability to cater to your basic needs. And when people hear that definition, they usually, because even looking these definitions up, the thing that it gave as an example was senior citizens. Once they get to a point, they no longer can take care of themselves. It's called self-neglect. Well, the thing is, entrepreneurs, creatives, busy moms, the strong friends, are usually also people who self-neglect. And I'm gonna tell you one of the major things. If you yourself are watching this current video and you know you have not been to a dentist or had a physical examination, at least in the last year, none of 2022, did you go get a physical? Did you go to the dentist? Did you go get your skin looked at? Did you go do the things that you need to do to take care of your temple, your body? That also is self-neglect. If you're not getting enough rest, if you're not eating balanced meals, if you've been told you've been dehydrated, you're dry, you're not drinking enough water, those are also areas of self-neglect, okay? You want to make time for self-care, because self-care is really the opposite of self-neglect. So you want to take time to pray, meditate, sit with yourself, have that quiet time. You want to make time to dream. Get you some pen and paper, some music, a nice ambiance, light a candle, dream, visualize, write stuff down. Like really take time to tap in with self, tap in with, like for me, my name is Joy. Joy, let me check in with you. Let me sit quiet. Listen, you guys, some of you may know, I have 5 children and a grandbaby. I run multiple businesses. It's no way I can go on steam. It's no way I can go on fumes. I have to take time to really tap in. At one point, I can't remember the name I used to call it, but at one point, like this was pre-COVID, I used to schedule a lunch break at least once a month to go to the movie theater. I absolutely love the movies. And when I go to the movies with my children, my husband, the grandbabies, the childcare programs, the movies always turn into take this one to the bathroom, take that one to get popcorn, use the spending money for the trip money, listen to this one talk through the whole movie. And so once a month, I used to schedule myself to go to the movies alone. And if somebody would call me, I would be like, hey, I'm in a meeting. I'll have to call you back. And so one day my girlfriend called me, shout out to Erica. And she was like, hey, what you doing? I was like, I'm in a meeting. When I get out the meeting, I'll call you. So when I got to the car, I called her like, hey, I'm just getting out my meeting. What's going on? She's like, girl, who are you in a meeting with? That was a long, and I was like an hour and a half. I said, oh, I had a meeting with myself. And she bust out laughing like, what? I was like, yes, once a month, I schedule a meeting with myself and I take myself to the movies because the movies is something I truly, truly enjoyed when I was single, when I lived alone, when I was in college. Like I entertained myself with the movies. Okay. I would go to the movies at least once a month. And when I got married, of course, me and my husband go to the movies. But I never, when I used to go to the movies by myself, I used to pick like the love stories, the comedies. My husband loves horror and sci-fi. And I'm like, we're gonna have to balance this. So half the time, if he wants to pick the movie, I'm sitting there like that because I'm a little fearful. But if I get to go to movies by myself and pick the movie, even if I don't watch the movie, because sometimes it's nothing out, because if I was doing this once a month, so sometimes it really wouldn't be anything out that I wanted to see per se, but I would choose a child movie because if you go to see a child's movie or a movie for children, most times you can hear children laughing. And for me, that brings me joy. I love to hear children laughing. My daughter, Riley, reminds me of the little girl on Monsters, Inc. Remember, that's how they got the energy because she laughed so much. They thought that it was more energy and fear, but really it was more energy and joy. And because she laughed so affectionately or so like it was just like it's a sound that is the cutest. And so I love that sound. So me hearing children laughing, being happy, giggling, I would go to a children's movie and just sit in there because I know I could hear that sound too. So even if I was on my phone, even if I was like thinking about something else, taking notes on my phone about something, I would just sit in the movie theater and enjoy the children's movie. So that used to be my meeting. That was a part of my self-care. And I did that because when I was at work, especially when I used to work inside the childcare facilities more often, I really could not get a moment. Okay. I would be in the bathroom and I would hear my staff, Miss Joy, it's a parent at the door. Miss Joy, it's a phone call. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to respond because I'm in the bathroom. I'm not going to respond. And they would keep calling me. And we would have staff meetings and I would bring it up like, hey guys, when I need a moment and I go in the bathroom or if I'm in my office, give me that moment. Nope, wouldn't work. And so because it really was no place for me to have a breather at work, I started having my monthly meetings at movie theater. But that's a part of self-care, okay? So sit with yourself, appreciate yourself, rest, journal, go for a walk, travel, schedule you a trip, even if it's a weekend trip, a hotel room somewhere, do something to spend time with yourself. Make sure you're making time for you and your significant other as well, because you want to make sure, well, especially for me and my husband, when the children begin to come, we begin to do everything as a family. Like it was like, party of 5, party of 7, party, as the kids kept coming, the party got bigger. And so some days we had to stop and say, wait a minute now. Mommy and daddy need a day to be boyfriend and girlfriend, Joy and Ray. Like, you're my husband, but I don't want to stop dating you. Like, dating you caused me to marry you because I enjoyed dressing up, going out, eating, laughing, giggling, walking, kissing. I enjoy that part. So make time to still do that. If you're a busy mom, a busy dad, and you whatever, make time to still date. Okay. And then as you're traveling, laughing all the time, spend time in good places and spend time with good people. All right. It's going to make a world of difference. So this was my list of things that I left in 2022 or things that I've decided to leave in 2022. It was really great talking to you guys today. I'll see you soon with another video. And remember, keep joy in the journey. Bye.